Say hello.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to Geeky Girls Knit. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Damaris, also known as Damaris-Weird.
And we're glad to have you today. We feel a little off-kilter today. Or at least I do. Do you feel off-kilter?
What's a kilter?
Look it up.
I can't right now.
Look it up later.
Well, I can't tell you if I feel off-kilter if I don't know what kilter means.
Do you feel just a little off?
Yes.
I think we should do the podcast that way. Okay, today is Wednesday, February 6th.
What episode?
24?
Yes.
It's episode 24, y'all.
She can never remember what episode.
Even though it's written down right over there.
Yes, it's written down in this big space. It's like
Yes.
24.
Yes.
It's in the air.
It's in the air. All right. So I think... Oh, wait. Welcome back to our returning viewers. I was going to say, let's get started, and I forgot to welcome people. And a big welcome to new viewers. We're glad to have you. And I think we're ready to get started. Sorry. We're a little off today. That's all right, though. Okay, here we go.
Now we're going to talk about what's on our needles.
Yes.
I was about to say what books we're reading and what TV we're watching.
No, we haven't done the other stuff yet. We told you we're a little off today.
Okay, I haven't done anything on this yet, but it's casted on. How can this be, you ask? She did it.
Because it is the...
Top-down preemie hat pattern.
Yes, but I was
By
thinking...
her.
Yes.
And it's free on Ravelry, so make preemie hats with it because no one's made anything with it. Except her.
I've made a lot of them. It's a top-down preemie hat pattern, and it starts with isn't it the Emily O cast-on? Yes, the Emily O cast-on, which Damaris has never done before, so I
tried. I failed.
So I did it for her, and she's knitting a preemie hat out of...
Some German yarn?
SMC Bravo Rainbow Color. And it's like...
Not jacquard.
No, it's not jacquard. I don't know what color it is. It's color 00187.
Wow, that's a beautiful color.
I think it's got a name. I think it's like Rainbow or Circus or something. I've made something with it before.
A preemie hat.
Yes, I did make preemie hats with it before. It's pinks and oranges and purples and blues and greens and a little red. So it'll work.
Some brownish.
Ooh, there we go. That's pretty good. So it makes good hats for boys or girls.
It looks good inside and out.
It does. So that's what's on your needles. Size 4? No, size 2.5.
Yes, these are not 4s.
I don't know. My brain is not here, I'm telling you. Okay, you want to know what's on my needles?
Sure.
Same stuff as last week. Oops, I just dropped my yarn ball in the floor.
Woohoo!
Speaking of which, I need you to help me wind yarn after the podcast. Okay, this is the Junction Shawl by Lethal that I'm doing for my mother-in-law. And it's on, I don't remember, US 5s, 3.25 millimeters in Knit Picks, Comfy Fingering yarn in the Peony and Bison. So I had section 1 all completed. And this week I did section 2, which is hard to see because of how it is on the needles, but it's got chains. Let me see if I can... So I finished section 2 last night, and so now my needles are down here at the bottom. I know, it's very confusing. The shawl is done in 5 parts, 5 sections, all connected together, obviously, but 5 sections. So, section 2 is complete. We will shoot for section 3 to be done next week. This is the other thing I showed y'all last week, and it has grown. Hold on, I'm trying to untangle the yarn. This is the currently unnamed baby blanket that I'm designing. Oh, that shows the colors really good. Okay, so this is 8 of the colors. This is all leftover yarn. If you really are that interested in knowing what exactly the yarn is, you can go to my project pages on Ravelry because I did input it all. But this is 8 of the colors, and then I'll be adding 4 more colors. And I just love, love, love the pattern that's on each square. It's kind of a zigzag parallelogram thingies. So this will still be growing because I'll be using each color 3 times before this is over. So I did make some pretty good progress on it this week. And got it all drawn out and assigned colors to sections and fun stuff like that. Are you knitting front and back?
No, I'm trying to get the needle in here.
I'm a tight knitter. I may have to help for a minute. Okay, well that's kind of what's on our needles. Yes?
I did it! That was just the first row. I've only done 1 row.
It's alright, it's only 40 rows I think total, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's a pretty fast knit too. So if you need a good preemie hat pattern, if you want to use up some leftover yarn, NICUs are always welcoming to receiving donations of preemie hats for the little ones. So if you have leftover yarn, download my free pattern and knit up some hats right quick and do something good for someone else. Alright, we'll be back in a minute with a finished project. Because I have none, but Damaris does. Now it is time to talk about Damaris's finished project. Because I have none. Damaris, did you finish a project this week?
No.
Yay!
I finished my socks. Woohoo!
She finished them actually last Thursday, the 31st, with 3 hours to go before the deadline. If you have not seen that podcast episode, one of our viewers, Enid, who lives in the UK, had challenged Damaris to finish her socks before January 31st. And she did it, and Enid is sending her a prize, which I'm sure we'll share when you get it. So tell us about these socks.
They're socks.
What pattern did you use?
The 2 at a time toe up sock pattern from our local yarn store.
Yes. Do you know what kind of yarn you used?
Brava Sport in Rouge.
Yes. Do you know what kind of needles? I mean, what size needles you used?
Chow Goo. In size 4.
Yes, US 4s.
3.7.
Nope, 3.5.
5 millimeters.
3.5 millimeters. Here, can I hold on closer to the camera?
It hangs off the thing.
There, that's a more true color of it.
Why does it hang off the thing?
Just because your ribbing is not as tight as mine is. So, they're done. I'm very proud of her. Look, we can frame ourselves.
No, it's not a picture frame.
Hello. We could
It's not a picture
play
frame.
peekaboo with Wyatt. With my nephew, I was playing peekaboo on video yesterday. Speaking of socks, I have had a sock tragedy occur today.
It's tragic.
Yes.
We were trying to figure out the adjective form of tragedy. And I remember it's tragic!
It is tragic.
I get really proud with myself when I do that.
Do you see my tragedy?
It came undone.
My toe broke.
Not her literal toe.
No, the toe of my sock broke. I've never darned a sock before. So, if you have any hints or suggestions, because these are brand new socks. I knitted them not too long ago. And I don't know what happened. I've never had a toe come apart like this. So, my sock requires repair. It's tragic.
I've never darned anything before.
I've darned it.
No.
No. All right.
I've never darned anything.
I think we're ready to move on to the next segment. We told you we were a little off today. Alright, here we go. And now it's time for my very favorite part of the show. Yummies!
See, she's not as enthusiastic.
I'm not. I'm very tired.
We're off. We're half helter-skelter, half twinkly.
Should I tell them what yummies are?
Sure.
Yummies are like our current favorite things that have happened this week. Life. Yummy.
As we know it.
Life as we know it.
There's danger out there.
Yes, there is. No, I am off today because I had to get up earlier than normal because I had an appointment I had to go to, and so my whole day is just off. So,
I don't know why I'm off. I think it's because she's off. I think offness is contagious.
yes.
We're half helter-skelter, half twinkly.
I've infected you with offness. Yes. Okay, so here's one of my things. Russ picked it up from the library for me. Was that yesterday or the day before?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. I've been wanting to read it. This is Stephanie Pearl McPhee's book, Knitting Rules. The yarn harlot unravels the mysteries of swatching, stashing, ribbing, and rolling to free your inner knitter. So I started reading that at my appointment this morning, actually. So, I've read several of her other books, and they're always very good. But I wanted to read this one, so he got it from the library for me, and I am reading it. What were we talking about, freeing your inner knitter? Remember?
I don't know.
We were having some kind of joke about freeing your inner knitter.
It's captive. It's held captive.
Yes.
In yarn.
Yes, that's what it was. The inner knitter has been held captive and tied up with yarn, so you have to free it.
Oh dear.
What else?
Ah.
Here, you want one?
Hold on. Ah!
Open your mouth.
Ow.
I don't know what it said. Mine says, kiss me. Sweet tart. Another tart.
Hold on, give it a second.
They're yummy, but they're tart. Drink.
That's how I eat sweet tarts. That's how you eat sweet tarts.
Now I'm feeling really off. Russell and Damaris went grocery shopping last night and brought these to me. And they say all kinds of fun things.
One of them says, I owe you.
No, it doesn't. It says, I love you. This one says maybe. Is it supposed to be like, call me maybe?
No! It looks like I owe you.
No, it's a heart. See, I love you.
It looks like I owe you.
And there's XOXO and Cutie and Love You. They're good. They're just really tart.
They're called sweet tarts.
What about you, Maris?
Hold on, let me knit this front and back. We watched Buffy.
We did. And Angel, too. We've watched quite a bit of Buffy and Angel this week.
Yes, we alternate Buffy and Angel since they apparently aired on the same day.
At the same time. Once we got through the first few seasons.
Not at the same time.
Well, I mean, back to back. But after we watched the first few seasons of Buffy.
The first 3.
So, we've been watching Buffy and Angel. You've got some movies over there to watch.
Yeah. Disney movies.
Peter Pan.
Something else.
101 Dalmatians, maybe?
Yeah. That.
You've been doing something else this week that you haven't done in a while?
Playing the Wii?
Yes, playing the Wii has been an active part of our week.
Yes. I hurt my arms while doing boxing on Wii Sports. I'm serious.
She is serious.
Seriously, my arms hurt a lot.
We did some synchronized swimming.
Yes. I did some figure skating and I sucked at it.
And you've been playing
Prince Caspian.
Chronicles of Narnia Prince Caspian game. Based on the movie. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, have the Prince Caspian game and not the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe game. I don't know if there's a Dawn Treader game. Is there a Dawn Treader Wii game?
I don't know. And you got to listen to Cabin Pressure today, and I didn't.
Yes.
So do I have to, like, plug my ears?
No.
La, 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 la?
No, you can listen to it.
Okay, so Damaris is going to tell you about Cabin Pressure today. So if you don't want to be spoiled, don't listen.
Okay, apparently I pronounced it wrong last time. It's pronounced, great, now I forget how it's pronounced.
It's Xinzhou.
Xinjiao,
Xinjiao?
I think.
Okay. Where's it at? In China?
Yep.
Okay.
China. So, it's snowing, and Arthur's building a snowman.
Okay.
Yeah.
On
And
the
it's-
plane?
No, outside, before they
Oh,
take off.
Okay. I was wondering how the snow got on the plane.
And bits are falling off Gertie.
That's the plane.
Yeah. And...
You said something about 7.
yes, but that's not now. That's later.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so this bit that fell off, the APU, Auxiliary Power Unit, they had the plane turned on, so it was okay. But they couldn't turn the plane off, because then they couldn't turn the Auxiliary Power Unit back on. And their takeoff was denied, so they couldn't turn the plane off.
Okay.
So they had basically a Gertie slumber party.
Didn't that use a lot of petrol?
No, see, they weren't moving.
But
They-
still, you
they
have
had
to
the APU on.
you have to have something to power the plane.
They weren't moving. They were stationary.
It doesn't matter if you turn on the car, even if you just leave it on and don't move, it's going to drain.
I don't know. Ask John Finnemore about it.
And so they were having a slumber party on Gertie.
Yes, and Douglas, who had had like 5 cups of coffee because he thought he was going to have to stay awake the entire night, couldn't go to sleep. So they started playing a word game. And I don't remember what exactly Douglas called it, but it was movie titles, and the first of them was a question, and the second of them was not a question that was supposed to be an answer to the movie title that was a question. Like,
Okay.
who framed Roger Rabbit? Gandhi. That was Douglas's. And Martin's was, how green was my valley? 7.
Of 9?
No, out of 10.
Okay. And and you said that there was something about the Arab Museum?
No, hold on. But then they stopped playing that game.
She won't tell me. She wouldn't
Hold
tell me
on.
even when we were off the camera. I asked and she wouldn't tell me. She
Hold
told me I had to
on, I'm
wait, and
getting
I'm
to it. I'm
waiting,
getting-
and I still don't know.
I'm getting to it. So, but then they changed word games. Well, this one wasn't a word game. It was a Fizz Buzz. I don't know if you know that game. It's like you count around the circle, and for every multiple of 3, you say Fizz. Every multiple of 5, you say Buzz. So, Martin went 1, Douglas went 2, Arthur went 3. And then they kept changing it, and eventually it came down to Fizz Buzz have a banana!
Okay, but what if it's a multiple of 3 and 5? Do you say Fizz Buzz?
Yes.
If you played Fizz Buzz before, please tell us, because we obviously don't know.
Okay, so, and then Arthur went to go fix the thingy that was acting up, because the thing kept buzzing and keeping them all awake.
Okay.
So, and then Douglas and Martin start talking about Swiss Airways, because Carolyn told them that Swiss Airways are going international. And Martin's like, maybe I could get an interview there. And he's like, how far is Zurich from Vaduz?
Uh-oh.
And, well, it's only 50 miles.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, it's 3 hours.
50 miles is 3 hours?
Well, when I went to Google Maps, I just did Switzerland to Vaduz, so that might be different.
Yeah, that would be different. 50 miles you could go in less than an hour.
Yeah.
Not 3 hours.
sorry.
Okay, so now do I get to find out about the date?
Yes. And Douglas was like, it's like, how did it go at Dexford? And I'm just like, it was good. It was good. And apparently they had a second date that we didn't know about.
Where'd they go?
Teresa took Martin to a private party for the King of Sweden's birthday at the Taj Mahal. What? Yeah.
I'm really gonna have to listen to this episode.
This episode is just... Yeah. Basically,
That's about it?
yeah.
And what's next week?
Verdun Les Bains. I don't think I'm saying that right.
And it's the end of the series.
Not the series, but
But it's series 4. Last week we said series 3. And I don't know why we said series 3. It's series 4 right now.
Because we want Sherlock Series 3?
Alright, are we ready to move on to the next segment?
Have a banana.
Okay, we'll be back.
Now we're going to talk about what books we're reading and what TV we're watching.
Not while ago. Now, we're ready to talk about it.
Yep.
Okay.
We read The Sign of the Four by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
I finished it. You've got a couple chapters to go?
Yeah.
We're reading, I think we told them before, didn't we, that we're reading all of the Sherlock books and short story collections together. So, that was the next up. And then what's after that? Is it a short story collection?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be reading that next as soon as she finishes Sign of the Four.
And I write the book report.
Yes. Because we do have to do school around here.
I've been finishing my school a lot quicker, which is odd, because I've had more.
Maybe you're just grasping things faster.
Maybe I'm magical. Maybe it's Maybelline.
How about some TV? Arrow, episode 1.12, Vertigo. So,
Like the Alfred Hitchcock film.
actually, this was a drug.
I knew that.
Yes. So, this is the drug that Oliver's sister Thea took when she had her accident. And so, Oliver is determined to figure out who has been making it, selling it, everything. It turns out to be Lincoln from Fringe.
Lincoln from Fringe?
Yeah.
What? How dare you?
I don't know what his real name is, but that's who it was. And Oliver gets injected with vertigo. I was like, I lost the word. With vertigo.
With the Alfred Hitchcock film.
Yes. And it, like, makes him, like, crazy. It was so weird. Thea is able to get off with a plea agreement to do community service and probation. And they catch Lincoln from Fringe, who was playing the Count, who was the one with the drugs. And
Lincoln from Fringe!
And then we also see, back on the island again, that the guy that had been helping Oliver, like, all of a sudden was not helping him and was against him. He was with the other people on the island, but then he saved Oliver's life when they tried to kill him. Very confusing.
Maybe he's helping Oliver, but he doesn't want to be seen that he's helping Oliver by the other people on the island, so he... Yeah?
Yeah, maybe. And I'm thinking also maybe part of it, too, is he's trying to get some information from the people, other people on the island. So I think
Or
he's
maybe it's reversed.
So he's, like, playing both sides.
Double agent.
Double agent. And then at the end, Felicity, who is the IT girl from, what's their last name? Queen. From Queen Industries. Oliver Queen. She comes to Oliver and gives him the book that Walter had given her to investigate, and it turns out it's the list. The same one that Oliver got from his dad. and Moira, which is Oliver's mom, was hiding it in the house, and Walter found it. So it's back on tonight, episode 1.13, Betrayal. Bum, bum.
I can't raise my eyebrow any higher.
Person of interest, 2.13, Dead Reckoning. So this was like the follow-up after the
Explosion!
after the explosion with the car, and Kara, who was John's former partner, takes him captive, puts a suicide bomb type thing vest on him, just like that she's got on, what's the other guy's name?
That other guy?
Snow is his name. And she's trying to get them to get into this secret DOD facility, and then they get in there because otherwise she's going to kill them. So they get in there, and she like lets loose this virus that is going to go live in 5 months, that's going to like destroy technology and all kinds of issues. At the very last second, Harold Finch saves John and deactivates his bomb, and Snow gets Kara by, he knows he's going to die anyway, so he gets in the back of Kara's car and hides, and she gets in the car and it explodes just after she found out that it's Harold Finch that did the machine. So there's a new episode on tomorrow night, episode 2.14, 1%. So I am interested to see where they're going to go with that. We got double elementary this week.
Yeah.
Yep. So the first one was on Thursday night, episode 1.13, The Red Team. And this, Sherlock is in trouble from trying to kill, what's his name? Moran. And he is like lost without a job. Joan is working for him still, but secretly because, well, it's a secret because she's not being paid by his dad anymore. But Sherlock doesn't know that. And Sherlock figures out this whole thing about this army game team that figured out a way that would really mess with
the United States.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was, and it was immediately classified because it was something so significant that it could have been detrimental. And one of the guys that was on the team doesn't want the information to get out, and has been tempted to sell the information. And so to try to keep everybody else on the team from selling out the information, he's killing them all. But Sherlock saves the day.
Because he figured out what the plan is, but we're not told what the plan is.
Right.
It's like a study in pink. We never know which pill was the right pill, and did Sherlock choose the right pill? And it's just like...
And Sherlock apologizes to the captain, and the captain punches Sherlock in the stomach.
Clyde!
And they can work together. And Clyde.
Clyde the tortoise. There are GF sets dedicated to him.
Yes, Sherlock was telling Watson that he was going to cook it into tortoise soup, but he didn't. But you know what? We didn't see Clyde in the bonus episode.
No.
Bring back Clyde!
Apparently, between takes, Lucy Liu had to, rub Clyde's belly so he could keep his feet kicking.
That's cute. Let's go ahead and jump to the other elementary episode. This aired after the Super Bowl on Sunday, which we did not watch the Super Bowl. Are we awful?
We ain't bothered.
We watched Alias instead. Elementary.
Jennifer Garner's pretty.
She is very pretty. And then after we watched that, after you went to bed, I was watching more Murdoch Mysteries. Mm-hmm. And the guy that plays Jack Bristow, what's his name? Victor Garber, I think, was in Murdoch Mysteries, and he was a really bad guy. And I was like, Jack Bristow, why are you doing that?
Is he Canadian?
I think he might be.
I thought he was American. The Canadians sound American. Or do the Americans sound Canadian?
Are the Canadians taking over? With Canadian bacon?
With their maple syrup and their mousse.
We love Canadians. We really do. Please don't be offended. We like Canadians a lot. We want to live there sometime.
We want to live in Canada.
Oh, Elementary 1.14, The Deductionist. Let's deduce this. So, this prisoner is supposedly donating a kidney to his sister, but it's actually a ruse. The sister has poisoned herself
with essential oils.
Yes, to the point that her kidneys are failing and her brother is going to donate, but instead he escapes and tries to kill the profiler who wrote a book saying that the reason this guy was a killer, a murderer, was because he had been abused by his father, which was not true, and the father committed suicide, and the mother died shortly after, and so they were trying to get revenge on her. However, Sherlock also knew the profiler, and he was struggling with trying to not fulfill the assumptions, the things that she had said about him, and so there was that whole dynamic. Joan had to deal with the pornographic movie being filmed in her apartment, and she is getting better as a deductionist because she figured out that the landlord was in the apartment because of the tape on the radiator, and so was able to get out of the bad situation.
Can we have Clyde?
We want Clyde back.
And at the end of the episode, Sherlock gave her a spatula and a toothbrush.
Yes.
Okay, next, this is Merlin.
Oh, did I say when? I didn't say when Elementary was coming back.
When is Elementary coming back?
Thursday. It'll be episode 1.15, A Giant Gun Filled with Drugs.
And on that note...
Let's talk about Merlin.
Okay, this is 5.5, The Desir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there are these group of ladies that are called the Desir, and basically they pass judgment on people.
They're part of the old religion, magic.
So one of these Desir gives a sorcerer named Osgard a coin thingy. I wrote coin thingy on here because I didn't know what it was.
Rune mark.
Yeah, the rune mark. To take it to Arthur, because Arthur has had judgment passed upon him.
Yes.
And there's lots of going back and forth between Camelot and this. Just like...
And then the thing with Mordred. Remember he got sick, or got, what was it?
That was after this.
Oh, sorry.
I don't remember what happened. So, Arthur and the Knights leave to avenge Knight's death, and they find Osgard, and Osgard gets killed, but he gives Arthur the rune mark.
Yes.
And...
That's when they go to see the Desir, right?
Yes, the first time with all the knights. And they go into the sacred place armed, and it makes the Desir angry. So Mordred is injured.
And expected to die.
Yes.
Because they go back to Camelot. They take him back to Camelot so that Gaius can help him.
Yes, but Gaius can't help him. So Arthur and Merlin leave to go to the Desir to beg for Mordred's life.
Yes.
And then Desir asks Arthur to accept magic, but he does not. So they go back to Camelot.
Wait, you forgot the part.
Oh yeah, there were two parts.
You didn't write them down because you said you would remember them.
I do remember them.
Okay, well then tell us.
Before Merthyr.
Merlin and Arthur.
Yes, before Merlin and Arthur leave to go to the Desir, Gaius says, "What happened to the young boy who came into my chambers just a few years ago?" And Merlin said he grew up.
It made me cry.
Yeah.
And now then the other part, where Arthur asks Merlin.
Arthur asks Merlin what he thinks of magic, and Merlin is just like silent for a minute or two.
Yes.
But Arthur keeps talking, and then Merlin finally says, "There can be no place for magic in Camelot." And you can see it in his eyes. He wants to say, "No, magic, please, Arthur, I'm a sorcerer." It's like, oh.
So, but the reason he did it was because Damaris's foot meet microphone.
Actually, it was a notebook. It was a notebook, and it hit this, and it made the microphone go down, and it hit the button that made it stop.
Sorry about that. We're a little off today. So the reason Merlin said there was no place for magic in Camelot was because he thought that would mean that Mordred would die, which would mean that Arthur would not die because of Mordred, but instead Mordred lived. And so,
as punishment for Arthur not accepting magic. These almost reveals are pissing me off.
I know. I'm like, if they do not reveal that to Arthur that Merlin has magic before the end of this series, I'm going to be so upset because this is the end of the show. This is the last series.
People in the UK, don't tell us what happened.
No, we don't want to be spoiled. Shh. So don't tell us, but I'm going to be very upset. Okay, what's the next episode coming?
Next 5.6, The Dark Tower. Apparently, something to do with Gwen and Morgana.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like the Two Towers or something.
No.
I'm kidding. Joke.
What? Oh. Oh!
If you caught that reference, a point for you. A virtual point, not a real point, because I don't know what
We don't
points
have
to give
points.
you. Okay, and so next up we've got Bunheads, episode 1.15, Take the Cuna. So evidently we have a fiber enthusiast part of the show, because also mentioned in the show was about old ladies and trips to the yarn store, as well as the vicuna, which is an animal similar to a llama.
With rare.
Yes, it can only be sheared, I think it said, every 3 years? Interesting. So there was some really good one-liners in this episode. Sasha was moving into her own apartment, which totally bothers me, because I'm like, she's only 16. So how is she going to have her own apartment? I don't know. That kind of irked me, because I just can't figure it out. And Jenny's anxiety was kind of irking me too. Maybe because I tend to be anxious like that too. So maybe that's why it bothers me.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I would know.
Some of the one-liners that kind of made us laugh were about... a lot of them were between Millie, who is Paris on Gilmore Girls, and Fanny. And one of them was... Millie was on the phone with somebody, and she said, if we're getting noise complaints, tell them they can't run their heart-lung machine between 10 and 6 anymore. Can we say they would die? And then she's complaining at the priest for hanging too many crucifixes on the wall, because she said, it's 3 nails for every crucifix. It's killing me. Because he's making holes in her walls. The fake road trips for Scotty and Michelle, that cracked me up. He's like, there was huge red balloons with ribbons hanging down, and the wind kicked up, and we held the ribbons and we rode on them. He's just now figuring out that was fake. And then Fanny talking about going to Woodstock, and she's like, at the end of it, I wound up with a baby. I opened my bag, and someone had slipped a baby inside. I just left it at the lost baby table in the parking lot. A lot of babies were put in the wrong purse that day.
I still don't know what Woodstock is.
It was like this concert, hippies, yeah. And then Sasha told Michelle, sometimes we walk by her home, is what they're referencing, and all the mail is spilling out like you haven't checked it in forever, and we're wondering if you're dead, but no one wants to look. And Fanny telling Millie that they were not doing Sleeping Beauty and the Seven Dwarfs. And then I got really irked with Scotty about the whole situation with his mom, and he was being her guardian and signing off on her finances. It was really a poignant moment, though, when because Michelle and her mom do not get along, and her mom says to her as they're leaving, Michelle, to get her to turn around, I just wanted to see your face. The end scene with the music and Sasha sleeping on Michelle's couch and everything really reminded me of Gilmore Girls and Lorelai and Rory and things like that. So it was a pretty cute episode. And then we have Continuum. We had lots of sci-fi characters in this one. Vincent from Eureka was in it, Mayborn from SG-1, and then Braytac, who is a regular on Continuum. This was episode 1.4, Matter of Time. Oh, I forgot. Bunheads 1.16 is next. There's nothing worse than a pantsuit. So in Continuum, Matter of Time, we get Kagame finally arrives in the past, who is the leader of Liberate. And then there's this technology that a professor is killed over, and this other scientist, Melissa, is trying to leave the country with the tech, and Kira realizes that even though Melissa murdered this other professor, that she decides to let her go free because Melissa is going to create this technology for clean energy that majorly impacts the future, so she's letting her go free, and she had to deal with that whole kind of what's the greater good decision thing. And Liberate Kagami, they've decided that they're going to start a war in the past. Kira met Alex for the first time in person, so that was kind of neat.
His name was Alec.
Oh, Alex, sorry. I just want to say Alex. I don't know why. And that was about it for that. Next episode is 1.5, A Test of Time. And you're going to have to wait till next week for us to discuss NCIS, because I didn't get to do notes on it because I had that appointment this morning, so it kind of conflicted with things. So NCIS next week, because I don't think there's a new episode next week, so we'll just cover this week's next week. That's it for TV. It's trivia time! So we're still in the 8 weeks, 8 questions, 1 winner contest. You want to tell them what the question was from last week?
Okay, the question last week was, name this classic movie. He's so handsome, just like his reward posters. And this was from the Disney 1973 version of Robin Hood.
Yes, and we had 4 people get it correct. Enid, A1 Darwin, Angie Ship, and Freddie. So, congratulations to those 4 people who got another entry. Here is this week's question. 2 entries possible, 2 entries into the giveaway possible for each person. Which actor that played one of the Lovegoods in Harry Potter also portrayed a fairy tale character in a miniseries about pirates? So that's the first question. What's the actor's name? And for the second entry, what fairy tale character did he play? So, which actor that played one of the Lovegoods in Harry Potter also portrayed a fairy tale character in a miniseries about pirates? And what fairy tale character did he play? 2 possible entries per person. If you know the answer, email us or send it to us on Ravelry, and we'll get you entered in the giveaway. And that's a wrap for episode 24, I remembered, of Geeky Girls Knit. Thank you for watching. Sorry we were a bit off today, and we had a few technical glitches, but hopefully we'll be able to deal with those in editing, and they won't be too bad. Thank you for watching. Connect with us online. You can find us by going to our website, Geeky Girls Knit, GeekyGirlsKnit.blogspot.com, and there's links there to our Ravelry group, Twitter, Facebook, iTunes, Blip TV, YouTube, email, our personal Ravelries and Twitters. So connect with us online. We're still doing the giveaway for when we reach 100 members in our Ravelry group, and I think we're nearing in on 80, so we're getting close. We have prizes already ready, so invite your friends and family to join our group so we can pick a winner. That's about it for this week. Thanks for watching. We will see you next week, and hopefully we won't be a little bit off. Hopefully we'll be spot on.
Have a banana.
Have a banana. Happy knitting. Peace. See you next week.